Hey everyone, it's Jordan and welcome to my life. In today's video I'm going to be talking about snakes and whether or not you should feed them inside the tank or outside. This is Cecilia right here, and just by looking at her you'd probably not be able to tell if she eats inside her tank or outside of the tank. And well, basically this snake right here, she eats inside of her tank, and as you can tell she's very docile, super chill, and she does nothing that is aggressive. One of the main concerns about feeding the snakes inside the tank is that either A, they're going to become aggressive or like tank aggressive, which means they're going to be more aggressive when you try to take them out because they're going to think that your hand is food and stuff, or that they're going to ingest bedding. Well, honestly, I've been feeding Merlot and Cecilia inside the tank for over a year now, and I've not noticed anything different in their aggressiveness when getting them out, when holding them, or anything. And all you have to do when you feed them is you just kind of entice them to come out a little bit by pulling the mouse, put them over a platform or over a hide or something like that, and they will just strike it and they will eat it right there. I've never had an issue with snakes eating their bedding while feeding. I don't think that'd be too big of an issue unless you have some sort of bedding that they would not be able to ingest. So I just make sure that you look into that before putting that substrate in your tank if you're looking to feed the snakes inside their aquarium. Now, the main difference is that honestly, I prefer feeding inside the tank just because it's so much easier. These two snakes, like I'll get Merlot in a second, but Cecilia right here and Merlot, whenever I'm feeding them, they take like 10 minutes to feed because they just pop their head out. I feed them and they out of their hide. I feed them and they do that, like I give them 2 or 3 hoppers every week and they're done. Whereas Blizzard, I have to take out, so I'm still feeding Blizzard outside of her tank, and so what I have to do with her is obviously take her out, feed her, wait till she's done, give her another wrap up, wait till she's done, then put her back. So it takes a lot longer to do, whereas these guys, they're done super quick. So from a standpoint of just time, feeding the snakes inside the tank is a lot easier. Again, there are still a few risks, mostly with them ingesting the bedding. Like I said, just make sure that you're using a bedding that will not harm them. Okay, so here's Merlot. She's my ultra mild blood red corn snake, and when I first got her like 3 years ago, I was feeding her inside the tank, and then I just started feeding her, I was feeding her outside the tank, and just in the past year I switched her over to feeding inside the tank just to see if I noticed any difference in her behavior since she has done both. And honestly, there's been nothing different. As you can see, she's still super nice, getting out of her tank just now, no problem at all. And she eats super well and every single week. So yeah, so basically I made it so that Cecilia has always eaten inside her tank, Merlot here has done both, and then Blizzard, who I'll show you in a second, has just only ever eaten outside of her tank. So I have 3 different snakes who've had 3 different feeding routines, and honestly I've noticed no difference in any of them. But I just want to let you guys know that honestly it's your choice what you want to do. They're your animals. Just make sure that you're not being stupid about it. People who have a whole bunch, like obviously if your snake looks like they're hungry, you're not going to stick your hand or your finger right in front of their face to see if they strike, because obviously they're going to, and that's not them being aggressive, it's them smelling the mouse and then you sticking your finger in front of their face, and that's just being stupid. Throwing it back to like about a year and a half ago or whatever, that's when the only time I've ever been bit is when I was feeding with a ball python that I used to have, that I was fostering. I had the mice right beside me and I picked him up and I just kind of put my hands on his face sort of like that just to move him so I could look at his scar, and then he bit me thinking I was food. That wasn't his fault at all, that was my fault. So yeah, just trying to throw it out there that if you do something stupid then it's going to be your fault, so don't get mad at me because that's not my problem at all. Now here's Blizzard, my snow corn snake, the last of the 3 snakes, and as I said before, she's the one that's been eating outside of her tank for the past 4 years since I've had her. And again, as you can see, there is absolutely no difference in temperament than the other 2 snakes who have been either eating outside of their tank, eating outside, then inside, or inside the entire time. Gets kind of confusing trying to remember who's been doing what. Yeah, so that's basically it for this video. I just quickly want to say that I'm not saying that feeding them inside or outside of the tank, like there's not really a good or proper way to do it. So if you feed outside of the tank, I'm not going to say that's bad, it just takes up a bit more time, and if you have a bigger snake, you're going to need a bigger space to hold it while you feed it outside of the aquarium. Or terrarium. I don't know why I keep saying aquarium. Unless you have an aquarium, then by all means. Yeah, so that's basically it. Do whatever works best for you. Don't be stupid about it. And yeah, try both ways if you want. Switch it up. If you do notice, let's say if your snake, because all snakes are different, just like all people are different, if you notice that your snake is becoming more aggressive while feeding inside of the tank, then just stop that and just start feeding outside of the tank, sorry, because, you know, I'm not an expert. It's not scientifically proven. It's just something that I've been doing for a year, a little experiment, and it's worked fine with me. So just try it out, give it a go, switch things up a little bit, and just do whatever works best for you. Okay, well, that's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Please like, favorite, share, and subscribe. And I will talk to you guys all later. Thank you. See ya.